The scorching African sun mercilessly baked the parched savanna when a small elephant calf unexpectedly lagged behind its herd. Its mother, a large female elephant, was distracted for just a moment, lowering her massive head to tear off a fresh clump of grass near a dried-up riverbed. Yet that brief instant was enough. The curious youngster, captivated by unfamiliar sounds and colorful birds, wandered much farther than he should have. The elephant calf was only a few weeks old. His tusks had barely begun to emerge through the tender skin at the base of his trunk, and his clumsy ears had not yet learned to fend off the gusts of scorching wind. Tiny feet moved almost silently across the cracked earth as he chased dragonflies flitting around withered shrubs. Little by little, the familiar sense of the herd faded away, while the surrounding landscape became harsher. Thorny acacias towered above coarse grass, and the air wavered under the heat. Absorbed in exploration, the youngster failed to notice how far he'd strayed from his mother. At some point, the elephant calf stopped and raised his trunk, sensing tension in the air. Nearby, a loud squawk rang out, likely a bird trying to warn of danger. The savanna seemed to hold its breath, and the usual chirping of insects fell silent. The calf's heart pounded faster. He instinctively realized that he was no longer where he ought to be. Suddenly, shapes of lions emerged from the yellow grass. Several adult males and lionesses moved soundlessly, gradually tightening the circle around the elephant calf. Their yellow eyes gleamed with predatory excitement, and their tails flicked nervously from side to side. The small elephant might have tried to run, but all around lay the barren plain, offering no shelter, and he was still too inexperienced to find a way out of the ambush. Without warning, one of the lions lunged forward, targeting the calf's hind leg. The elephant youngster raised his trunk and let out a plaintive trumpet, hoping his mother or someone from the herd would hear him. But there was no one nearby. The lions attacked in unison, taking turns making feints, trying to push the calf to the ground. Dust kicked up and settled onto sun-scorched earth, while the tough grass looked ready to ignite at any careless movement. Meanwhile, the calf's mother, calmly grazing a few hundred meters away, lifted her head warily. Her huge ears swiveled, picking up the familiar notes of a panicked trumpet. This powerful creature immediately bolted away from the herd, each step causing the ground to shake. It seemed the sun itself, seeing this determined figure, shone even more brightly. A maternal instinct drove her forward without fear or hesitation. Sensing his mother drawing closer, the elephant calf grew hopeful, but the lions kept up their hunt. One young male sneaked almost within reach and managed to scratch the calf's side, provoking a piercing squeal. The calf staggered but did not fall, still striving to defend himself with whatever strength he had. At that moment, another lioness crept up from behind, poised to strike or knock him down with a single leap. Yet out of the thick acacia thickets came a thunderous roar, and the calf's mother charged onto the clearing at full speed. Her massive figure seemed the embodiment of unstoppable force. Enormous ears were spread wide, and her mighty trunk hung, ready to strike at any moment. Spotting the lions near her baby, she let out a powerful trumpet call that made the ground seem to tremble. The predators jumped back but did not immediately flee. They sized up whether to risk one last attack or retreat. Then help arrived. The rest of the elephants, sensing the alarm of one of their females, headed in the same direction. In the distance, the baked earth quivered, and a rumbling from the heavy footfalls of a dozen big elephants echoed across the savanna. Zebras and wildebeests, hearing the thunder of hooves, scattered in all directions, giving way to the giant herd. The pride of lions realized that the situation had now turned completely. Confronting a whole herd of elephants is a deadly gamble, even for them. One lion, spurred by the thrill, tried once more to reach the wounded calf, hoping for a quick opportunity. But the mother turned with astonishing speed and rushed forward, flailing her trunk and trumpeting loudly. The predator leaped aside, narrowly evading the crushing blow. Realizing that their chances of success were now slim, the lions began a cautious withdrawal, finally losing interest in the hunt. The herd of elephants surged onto the clearing, forming a half-circle around the mother and her baby. The calf, his side bloody, anxiously swung his trunk, unable to stop trembling. The female gently sniffed his wound, trying to ease the pain. The other elephants slowly bobbed their heads as they surveyed the area. Their formidable tusks and immense size clearly discouraged the predators. Satisfied that the lions were truly gone, the herd relaxed a bit. But another challenge awaited. Several ranger jeeps, drawn by the noise and dust, appeared over a distant rise. One ranger, named Malcolm, cut the engine and got out, carrying a wildlife medical kit. The elephants eyed these people warily but did not charge. They had seen such specialists help injured animals before. Malcolm approached the elephant calf step by step, whose wound still bled. The mother tensed, ears extended, but recognizing his benevolent intent, she did not attack. In a few minutes, the ranger had rinsed the cuts and disinfected them. The calf shuddered at the unfamiliar human touch yet stood still, feeling a strange but welcome relief. After finishing, Malcolm backed away gently, avoiding sudden moves. When the jeeps left, the savannah sank once more into silence, broken only by the buzzing of insects and the rustle of grass. The elephant herd decided to head for the nearest watering hole to drink and recover from the strenuous day. The youngster walked beside his mother, weary but relieved that the danger had passed. The older elephants surrounded him, occasionally brushing him with their trunks as though to check that he was all right. By then, the sun was dipping toward the horizon, bathing the African plains in soft orange light. High overhead, the silhouettes of birds drifted back to their nests. The elephants, shuffling near the narrow water channel, slowly scooped water into their trunks and doused themselves, washing away the dust of the day. The calf, barely able to reach the water, got help from his mother, who filled her trunk and carefully splashed him, cooling his overheated body. In that sunset hour, nature once again displayed its magnificence. Even a lion pride dares not challenge the unity of a mighty elephant herd, led by unwavering maternal force. And the little calf, having learned one of life's vital lessons, moved on, resolved never again to wander aimlessly away from his kin. Glancing at the crimson-orange sky, it seemed as if the savannah itself approved of this order of things. Here, everyone must know who is near and who stands ready to help in the most perilous of moments.